A lot of you watching probably feel that everything just seems a bit fake these days. Fake influencers posting a fake ass life that they're pretending to live. He probably rented that Lambo, bro. Or he did one of those fake private jet photo shoots. Dating is now this silly game where people just judge you on apps based solely on your photos. Girls feel fake and insecure when you try and date them, just worrying what their friends or their followers think about them. And it's also lonely. It's like I'm living on this digital island, isolated from other people. Well, yeah, I go through my day and see other people and talk to them sometimes, but it's just so artificial. Like other people are just tolerating you, kind of. And the amount of people that I can actually be real with and truly relate to is maybe one or two friends. Your parents, they don't understand you. Your so-called friends, they don't believe in you. And girls, they don't give a fuck about you either. You are alone. And it's always gonna be that way. All alone, forever. But guess what? Even if you're completely alone, you still have yourself. I'll have myself until I die. That's the only thing that I can count on in this world. And probably the saddest, most depressing thing that I think we can all agree on is that most people, they don't even have their own backs. Like seriously, ask yourself for a second, how is your relationship with yourself? Man, mine used to be complete shit. Like it would feel like actual torture trying to sit there alone with my thoughts. I'd always get stuck in these like circular thought patterns, unable to commit to even the smallest decisions, second guessing myself. It's just not gonna work out. I just don't know what to do, bro. Talking down to myself. There's no way that's realistic for me. Be real with me, and more importantly, be real with you for a second. What does your self-talk actually sound like? There's legitimately nothing more important than how you interact with you. You're doing it 24 hours a day your entire life. And I've realized this relationship with myself can either build me into being an absolute beast, or it can keep me feeling like a little boy forever. And that's why I used to hide from it through constant stimulation, watching YouTube videos for hours, watching porn when I got bored of YouTube, anything to hide from the fucking thoughts in my head. What about you? What's your go-to activity to avoid yourself? But then one day I had a realization that changed everything for me. And since that day, about 10 years ago, my life has finally felt good, man. Like living has finally felt good. Nah, I still got shit days where I feel like a lazy piece of shit. But for the most part, I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy to be alive. So brother, listen up. If you want to stop feeling alone, it all comes down to this one thing. You have to become your own best ally. You have to show up for yourself every single fucking day. Because if you don't show up for yourself, if you're not on your own team, who's on the team? And I know maybe this sounds like some vague motivation bullshit, so let's make this practical. And let's go over 5 simple techniques you can start using today to fast track your relationship with yourself. Number 1, realize the urgency. So think for a second, what's really at stake here? If you don't start to have your own back, what are going to be the consequences in your future? Well, at the very least, I would say it's very unlikely that you'll ever change your life and reach your goals. So if you take a look at your current situation right now, your finances, the women in your life, the men in your life, well, that's probably going to be about the same in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So be real for a second and envision your life not changing in 20 years. Maybe you'll be what, 45, 50 years old, alone, broke, running home to jerk off to porn after going to a job you hate all day. And as scary as that sounds, that's not even the scary part. This is about how you feel every single day. You have to be with yourself 24 hours a day. And if you don't get this sorted out, even if you reach some external success, you're still gonna feel empty and lonely inside, man. And that's why this has to be your new goal. Money, dating. I had to forget about all that shit, because once this gets sorted, all the other stuff actually becomes enjoyable to work on. Going out and getting rejected by girls, no longer was it this existential crisis that meant I was gonna be alone forever and I'm ugly. Nah, it was just a girl who rejected me because I had my own back. It wasn't that big of a deal. Now grinding up your money, it becomes an enjoyable process because you're no longer sitting there,
second guessing every decision with your business or your career.
When I started to actually show up for myself, my life just became this epic adventure the last 10 years, man. Y'all have seen it unfold on camera. The discomfort that you feel right now, the pain, the loneliness, that's your fuel, bro. Use that as a reason to get this handled now. Number 2, develop a daily game plan. So first thing every morning when I wake up, I do a quick mental check. And this isn't some fluffy, how am I feeling today? Let me write my journal. No, this is how am I feeling today? And how does that affect what I need to do today? If it's one of those mornings where I'm just brutally exhausted, well, maybe I take an unplanned rest day from the gym so I don't beat myself down. And instead, I get on my laptop and I take care of some lower energy tasks like replying to emails or planning my next moves with my businesses. If I'm good, I had some great sleep and I'm just ready to fuck shit up, well, I'm just gonna dive into the most intense work possible that I can do, then get a beastly workout in, and then get back to work after that. It's gonna be a grind day. Also, every day I set a clear boundary with myself in terms of when I'm going to be allowed to chill. So maybe it's once these 4 tasks get done, after I film this YouTube video today, I'm actually good to chill. Or maybe it's, at 7 p.m. regardless, I'm going to wind down with wifey. But before that, if I'm sitting at my desk working, my phone is going to be in the other room so I don't get tempted to scroll IG and start to get those sexual triggers. And at the end of the day, this is the most important thing I did consistently every single day when I was trying to generate that momentum and show up for myself. I would ask myself, what did I do good today? And what do I need to do differently next time? So I'd write down 3 small wins for the day, even if it was just I game planned my next YouTube video or I said hi to the girl at the gym. Because those small wins, not only do they add up and create momentum, but also reminded myself that before I go to sleep, it allowed me to start actually feeling proud. Now, kind of random, but quick side note. One bad habit that I see a lot of guys picking up in 2025 is vaping. And that's why I decided to partner with Fume to be the sponsor of today's video. So Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that draws flavored air into your mouth, not your lungs. It's a great way to satisfy your oral fixation with non-toxic flavors. It's free from nicotine, there's no vapor, and is safe to use anywhere, which makes it a great alternative to help quit vaping. It's also got some good weight to it. It just feels premium in your hands. It's built with a magnet that you can pop and click around like this, which also makes it a great fidget tool to help with anxiety. Fume has already helped over 300,000 people build better habits. Not to mention, Fume continuously invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products. There's a whole bunch of different flavors available. I tried out this cinnamon hearts one, and it's nice. It's got a good taste to it. Try Fume today, and if you order the Journey Pack with my code HowToBeast, you're gonna get a free Fume topper, an awesome accessory to level up your experience. Just go to tryfume.com/howtobeast or scan the QR code on screen now to pick up your Fume today. Number 3, be ready for the weak moments. I want you to be real with me. When you have those really weak moments, those, I can't do it today, man. I don't have it in me, man. When you have those bitch ass moments, how do you respond? These are gonna be the moments that define you. These are the make or break moments. So do you show up for yourself and hold yourself accountable even though it's hard? Or do you abandon yourself and let yourself go down a dark path of porn or drugs or no sleep or whatever it is? Here's what I do to show up for myself in these moments. First, you got to realize that it's happening. And I'll literally tell myself, stop in your tracks. And I'll take 5 to 10 deep breaths like that, really focusing on the exhale, pushing all of that air out of my body, bringing my blood pressure down. And then I tell myself, I got this shit. I hype myself up, and then I identify one small task I can complete. One simple, basic task, even just replying to an email or going to the grocery store, something that prevents me from going down the dark path. And guess what happens after I finish that basic task? The momentum comes back, man. Then I move on to the next task and the next task. And that weak moment is a thing of the past. And if all else fails, I take a pre-workout and I drive my ass to the gym, because I can tell you, even in my deepest, darkest moments, that forces my emotional state to change. The blood gets flowing, the endorphins go out, and I feel like Superman again. Now, 2 bonus tips that can help in these weak moments. First of all, look at your wins list, the one you should be doing every night, because that reminds you, look, I'm not a piece of shit. I'm actually taking action and making things happen. Let's not end this streak today. Let's keep it going. And bonus tip 2, remember the pain. Close your eyes. Fast forward 20 years into the future of going down the dark path, indulging in the bad habits. What does your life look like? Envision that 50-year-old, miserable, lonely old man. Open your eyes and do whatever it takes now to make sure that never happens. Number 4, change your thought patterns. So at the beginning of the video, I mentioned getting stuck in these circular thought patterns. And that used to be my life, man. Unable to commit to any decision. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I should go to the gym tomorrow morning instead of tonight. I don't know what I should do. So I'll just sit here and be miserable. Oh, I got this girl's number. Should I text her now? But I don't know what to text her. Man, I would love to quit my job, but it's gonna be so hard to talk to my boss. I don't think I could do it, but I want to. And the issue with this is that it paralyzed my life, because if you can't make a decision, nothing in your life can move forward. And second, when I was stuck in these thought patterns, even when I wasn't making a decision, I just conditioned myself to feel like a little bitch who had no control of my own life. I felt completely powerless. So if you can relate to this and you tend to be indecisive, here are 3 things that were complete game changers for me. First, pretend that you're advising a friend. So when I'm facing a decision, I'll pretend that one of my friends came to me and was like, hey man, I'm in this really tough situation where, I have a future in this job and I could get a few promotions, but I really want to try this YouTube thing on my own. What should I do? And let's be real. Whenever someone else asks you for advice, immediately we all put on our expert glasses and we're like, well, here, I'll tell you exactly what to do. This is a crystal clear, obvious decision, because we're not emotionally invested in it, right? So think like that, and a lot of times the answer becomes instantly obvious. Second, start beta testing your decisions. So with software development, at first they create a beta release. With the Beastly app, we had a beta release that I could test and give feedback to the developers before we commit to releasing the final version, right? That's how I look at my decision-making process now. When I make a decision, I'm beta testing it. And when you start to treat each decision as an experiment, I'm gonna make this decision, go down this path and gather some data, it takes the pressure off of it. They're like,
oh my God, I'm gonna have to go down this career path my entire life.
That's not how life works, bro. Just because I made this decision today, well, in 3 months, I can take a step back and kind of analyze the data, see how I'm feeling, and I can always pivot a little bit if needed. When I quit my software engineering job 10 years ago, which is crazy to think, I decided to become a personal trainer. I studied, got my certification, started working at a gym, built up a base of clients. That doesn't mean that I was a personal trainer for the rest of my life, man. Nah, just for the next year I was, and then I moved on to the next thing. But a lot of guys don't do that. They stay working that job they want to quit for years and years and years, and they put their dreams on hold forever. And the third way to make faster decisions is to practice good enough thinking. If I'm like 70 to 80% confident in a certain decision, that's more than enough. As long as I'm above 70%, I'm good, because I've realized I'm literally never going to be 100% confident that girl is going to say yes and be into me and want to go out with me. I'm never 100% confident that a business is going to be successful and that it's not going to lose any money. That's not reality. A lot of these motherfuckers are out here wanting to know 1000% sure that their crush is into them before they say hi. You're never going to get above 70 or 80%. If you're at 70%, that's really strong. Go for it, bro. And number 5, reprogram your self-hatred. I saved the best for last, man. The biggest difference maker for me actually learning to be there for myself and to be on my own team no matter what, it was actually one of the simplest things that I ever did. I read a book called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It by a guy named Kamal Ravikant, who actually I had the pleasure of doing a podcast with him, with the homie Dave, back when we had the Beastly Gentleman podcast like 7-8 years ago. And in this book, he details how he was in the darkest, lowest moment of his life. unable to get out of bed, unable to look at himself. And he started doing this simple thing where he would look in the mirror, struggling to do it at first. He would look at his own eyes in the mirror and say, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. It literally brought him to tears, he talks about. But it led him to doing a 180 and becoming a wildly successful entrepreneur and author. And when I read that, I realized that I couldn't easily do it either. I would look in the mirror and say I love myself, and it felt awkward and like I was lying to myself. And I started doing it repetitively every day, especially before, going out to talk to girls or doing something difficult like filming a YouTube video. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And it slowly but surely reprogrammed my mind to actually loving myself and being on my own team. Because man, if you can't love yourself, it doesn't matter how many other people love you, or if the hottest girl in the world loves you, you're still going to feel empty. That being said, if you're serious about locking in and creating positive momentum in your life, then you need to watch this video next. It's about 7 attractive hobbies that every man should learn. Hobbies can be like a cheat code because you don't need to do some big career change. You can just get started with them today. Click there to watch that now. If you're new to the channel, click down there because I drop 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I'll talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.